Hello, my name is Alejandro Rodriguez. I'm an associate professor at Universidad Politécnica de Madrid. I'm going to show you how to use the new Bluemix platform released by IBM. In this case, I'm going to show you how to deploy a machine learning model that you have that you might have created, for example, with SPSS Modeler, but I guess that maybe with other platforms also can be done because at the end it's using this PMML markup language. I have created this video because honestly the last changes that IBM introduced in the context of their Bluemix platform were so big that well, the previous efforts are not working anymore. The capability of uploading an str file with a branch score, with a score branch, as it was previously working, they are not longer working, or well, they are going to stop working from May 11, I think. So I decided to investigate a little bit how to do it again using this platform. So I'm going to try to do it step by step. I have done it a couple of times. I hope that I can do it directly without coming back, but maybe I need to navigate a little bit into the platform. So, well, I'm going to log in into the platform. That's the first thing. Okay, with my email and password. So, well, one of the first things that it's important that you need to do is that here, if you go to your own account and you go to see your profile, you will see here in the left that there is a thing that it's called Cloud Foundry Organizations. Okay, Organizations Cloud Foundry. If you click here, you will see that you have by default organization, or probably you can add a new one. And the thing is that in the organizations, if you enter, you have spaces. Okay, I have 2 spaces. It's important that you need at least 1 space to work with that, as far as I have investigated. So if you don't have any of these spaces, I recommend you to add 1 and choose the region that best fit with your location or with anything. Okay, so I will come back again to this dashboard. Okay, and in the dashboard I will go to see here the offers, all the options that are in the catalog, and here I will move to Watson. And in the Watson, in this case, I'm going to select this machine learning thing. So the first thing is that I have to create a service, a machine learning service. The name of the service will be this one, the organization and the space. I told you we have these options. I'm going to select that it's located in United Kingdom. Okay, and if you go down, you will have the prices. So I'm going to take the basic one that it's free, and I will click on create. So with this, what I'm going to do is to create a machine learning service. First of all, before going more in depth, it's important that we need to create some service credentials. So I click here and I click on new credential. I will leave the name as it is. I will click on add, and I will see these credentials. I will copy it because I will need it later, so I will paste it in this text document. And okay, now I will go to manage again, and I will access to this Watson Studio, because I think that well, this is the thing that you can see here. The Watson machine learning has moved to Watson Studio, so you might continue access to the prior SPSS string service dashboard that was the one that I told you that have been discontinued, as you see, until the 11th of May. That was easier to do things with this service, but well, now they have changed to that. That honestly, I think that it's more difficult to handle it, but it's more powerful. So, well, I think that once you are accustomed to use it, will be easier. So, okay, you go to this Accessing Watson Studio, and it opens the new data platform, and we have these two tasks by default, but we need to go to this tryout, the IBM Watson apps, because the thing is that we're going to upload a PMML model. So we need to go to this option, because here in the Watson Studio, we are going to try it for free, we will have more options. Okay, so again, we need to select the plan that we are going to use. In this case is the capacity. Okay, free small compute environment. Okay, this is the free option, so good. Whoops, no, light again. Okay, and I click on create. Okay, the creation, the service name, the plan, and the space. Okay, I confirm, and it's working. So it's important to emphasize that each step that I'm going to do, it's going to be asked to create a new thing, maybe the service, the machine learning service, the predictive analytics service, the storage service. We will see like how we are going to need to do these things. So here we have plenty, a lot of options. Now I'm going to show how to build and train a model, but in another video I will show how to work with this modeler flow, okay? Because the modeler flow is basically the web version of the SPSS modeler. So in this new model, well, one of the nice things of this is that, well, okay, you can create a model yet, because now you have to create a project. So everything is, wrapped around everything, around something like you need a project, you need a service, and inside of the service you need some credentials, and inside of the service you also need some other service. So it's like, a ball of things. But, well, okay, so the project name, I'm going to say Titanic Machine Learning, for example. Okay, and description, this is a project to deploy the Titanic example as a machine learning model that will be available through a REST API. Okay, so well, there are some options that I'm not going to do anything here. The first thing that I cannot create yet, because the first thing that is asking me is, okay, you need a storage service now, some place to store all your things. So I'm going to click on add. A new window will be open, and again I need to add a new thing. In this case I will add the free option, the storage service up to 25 gigabytes, the number of requests of get and put requests, and so on. So okay, create. Again, I left this as default, so I create it, and once it's created I click on refresh, and I should have here available this storage service that I have created. Okay, so it didn't appear yet, now it appears. Okay, I have this storage, create. And now the project is going to be created, and now I will be able to add the model into the project. So as I told you, it's a bit tricky because you need to add a lot of things. It's like, a chain of things that are requested. Okay, so now we are here in my projects, Titanic ML, and now I have to add to the project the model. Okay, it's the same view, but in this case in the menu. So the model, because the thing that I want to do. Okay, model name, Titanic model. Decision tree model generated with SPSS Modeler. Okay, but again, no machine learning services has been associated with your project. You need to add a machine learning service instance. So I click here, a new window is open. I will be able to select again here the a machine learning service, the free one with 5,000 predictions. Okay, I create. Okay, the name is the same. I will not change everything. I confirm. And once this is done, I can click here on reload and I have my service. Okay, the thing that now I have to select is, okay, the model builder. Okay, if you want to do your own model with the model builder, it's not the case. From a sample, you have a set of samples that you can use, okay, here. And from a file that you can drop a PMML model here. So I'm going to choose this one because I'm doing this like tutorial to explain how to deploy a model that you have created in the past by using SPSS Modeler. So I'm assuming that you have created a model in the past using this SPSS Modeler and you want to deploy it again as it was possible with the str file and the score branches, but now, as you saw before, it's going to be discontinued. So what I'm going to do is, okay, deploy this model, but in this case you see that it's asking me for an XML file instead of a str file. Okay, how to create this PMML file? I'm going to my Titanic example I have here. If you remember, so it was supposed that when you were using the legacy version, the previous version, you had this branch that, as you see, is marked because it's a score branch. Okay, you see, it's used as scoring branch, and you drop the str file and you work with the str file. But now it is not possible anymore. You have to create a PMML file. I'm going to create this very basic workflow, okay? Train file, type node, filter node, decision tree node, okay? I'm going to click on run, and this is going to generate, okay, this model that it's also here. If you click here in the models, right button, export PMML, okay, and I'm going to overwrite this file, okay. I replace it, yes, of course. And if I go to the desktop, I'm going to see this file in this text editor, and as you will see that it's okay, all the information about the decision tree, okay, all the confidences, how the decision tree has been built. Okay, good. And the variables that are used as input and so on. Good, now I'm able to select this file, so click on browse, I select this file, okay, it's uploaded, okay, everything is good. I click here to discard this message and I click on create. Now it's sending the file, sending the model, and now the model is ready, okay. You see the input schema, you see the information, there is no evaluation about this because it has not been done anything, and the deployment because the model is not deployed yet. Okay, so we need to add a deployment again, so to create the web service. So web service Titanic web service with the PMML model created in SPSS Modeler. Click on save, and the web service is going to be created. Okay, and now it is initializing. It takes just some seconds. If I click, okay, deploy success. If I click here, I have now the basic information about the service that we are going to work with it right now. Okay, so now I'm going to explain how to start doing things with this information, but we will see a couple of things more. Okay, so as I said, we have the service that has been deployed. We have some information, the name of the service, it's a web service, some ID, the machine learning that is associated, the machine learning service. And about the model, we have also some information, model ID, version ID, and the URL that has been created. Okay, so some information that we need to take into account right now is these credentials that you remember that we create in the past. Important to see there are some differences because here we have this IBM Watson ML.augb, and here is IBM Watson ML.mybluemix. And this is important because this URL is not going to work with the credentials that we have here. Okay, and we will see later something else about that. Okay, if you go here to implementation, here we have some nice things. First of all, the first thing is this view API specification that if we enter, we can see here some basic information about how to work with our model. And this is really important because, for example, here we have information about the credentials that are required to get an access token. Basically, so the idea is with this username and password, with the username and password that we have in these credentials, with these two, we are going to be able to obtain an access token. And this access token is the one that is going to be used to access the service. Okay, so this is important. Okay, another thing that we have here, really nice, before going to these snippets, is the test. Here you have the capability of introduce information, for example, sex, male, P class 1, fair 9.76, PARC 2, and age 45, and number of siblings 1. And we click on predict, and we get the predicted value and the confidence 1 and the confidence. Okay, so this guy is going to survive according to our model and the confidence. Okay, and this is really nice to make some basic test. But we go back to implementation, and now we are going to see some things. Okay, so the scoring endpoint is this. So this is the URL that it is supposed that we have to use to make the queries. And I said this is supposed because we're going to see later that there are some tricky things. Okay, so some other things that we can see here. It's this cool information about the first thing, how to get a token, okay, and how to make a query, okay. The first thing that we're going to do is to get a token. So in this case, what I have done is that I have installed this cool Windows version. Okay, there is a version here in Windows. You can download a version for in Win 32 and Win 64. Okay, generic version of curl to execute curl from Windows if you don't have a Linux machine, so you can download it and use it. So the first thing that is that I need to execute this, okay, this line. I'm going to copy here. Basically, I'm going to substitute this username with the username and the password with the password. Okay, and this is the important. I need to put this URL because it's the URL of the service credentials. Okay, so this is the call that I need to execute. Okay, if I try to execute it right now, okay, I saw that I have a issue, and it's because there is no certificate, valid certificate. So there is an option that it's called the -K option, -K option, sorry, that avoids problems with the certificate. Okay, and here it goes. I have my token. I will copy and paste it here. So this is my token to make queries to my model. Okay, so now I need to use this curl sentence in order to make a query. Okay, I'm going to this, remove it. Okay, and this is the content. So now I need to basically use this, okay, this specific call to make a query to my model. Okay, by substituting here the token and substituting here the array of values of the passenger that I want to query. Okay, so okay, what I'm going to do now is trying to make a query against this model by passing the correct values. So the first thing that we need to do is to modify this specific call, because it's not well formed. At least well, I get some errors in the past. I got some errors in the past. So first thing that I'm going to do is, well, I'm going to add a -k to avoid problems with the HTTPS. I'm going to put all of this information between double quotes, because if not, it's not going to work properly. And another thing that I'm going to do is to replace the token. So I copy the token and I put it here. Okay, and the last thing that I'm going to do is to replace this -d with the input information. I'm going to take it, okay, I cut it, and I'm going to paste it in a file that is going to be called query.json. I'm going to remove these things. I'm going to, okay, I'm going to separate. So the fields, the values, okay, and I'm going to give as parameter here the location of this file, that it's in the let me check, it's in desktop, and it's here, I think it's here, query JSON. Okay, so I copy, and in the -d I put an arroba query.json. So basically, instead of giving the JSON file in the curl options, I'm going to give a file that contains the JSON information. Okay, so I think that it's everything okay. The only thing that I need now is to go to my JSON file and, okay, put the values. So it is supposed that we can pass several individuals in a single prediction. So, but in this case, I'm going to just give one. One thing that I notice is that we need to put this between different between two brackets, and I don't know exactly why. I think that it maybe something related with the JSON, or maybe this is something that it's because of in the previous services that were working with the str. I will show you that because I have an example here in Postman that they use the same kind of structure. I have this here that the data was between, two brackets, so probably it's because of that, I don't know. Well, the thing is that sex, I'm going to say that it's a male, second class, the fare is 6.74, p arc is 1, age is, I don't know, 12, and the number of siblings is 2. Okay, so I save, and now I copy here everything, and it should be working, and here it is. the fields that it's returning, it's predicted value and confidence, and in this case it's not going to survive with a confidence of 0.88. I'm going to change the values. I'm going to set it now is a female, okay, of I don't know, 21 years, and she was on first class, okay, and I'm going to, okay, sorry, to ask again, and in this case she is going to survive with this prediction rate. So this is the second part, and now in the third part I'm going to show you how to use specifically these snippets, okay, because I have used this curl, I mean just making a query very basic, but we have some code to use with Java, so I'm going to try with this Java, and I'm going to create a new project in Eclipse, and we're going to see how it works by copy and pasting this specific code. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, as I said, we're going to execute this code that basically it's a Java code that will be in charge of doing the same that we have done with the curl, but directly with Java code. So I will copy and paste everything to a new class that it's called HTTP client test. Okay, I have here the Eclipse. Well, I have this package, this project that I had created in the past for other things, so I will do it here. So new class, HTTP client test. Okay, I will. Okay, so I have everything. So the only thing that I need to introduce is the URL, username, and password. In this case, I don't need to introduce the token, basically because the code that they have created is in charge of getting the token. You see here that they create this authentication header that is going to call the token. They will get the token, and from the token they will be in charge of doing the query to the model, to this URL that is the model, okay, by adding the information that we have here that we have to also to replace. Okay, so well, basically the URL, I go to the credentials and I copy and I paste, and I copy the username and I paste it, and the password I do the same, copy and paste. Okay, the other thing that I'm going to copy and paste is this, that are the parameters, okay, for the prediction. I copy and I go here, and first thing is that I need to add again the double bracket. I paste, okay, and okay, everything is ready. So I save, I execute it, and here we go, we have the prediction. Well, analyzing the code doesn't have too much importance, but well, as I said, basically here creates the basic authentication to get the token. Okay, so in this token connection they are going to get the token, and in scoring connection they're going to score the model. So the token connection, they open it, okay, they set the input and the output, the request method is get, request property is authorization with the header that has been created here, okay, and this header, okay, so they create a buffer reader, they read the information, okay, of the response, and they add it to this JSON string, okay, that is over here, and they will get from here this information. So then the URL to the scoring URL is the one that we already have with all all these things with the online at the end, and they replace in this case with this mirror that, if you remember, and if you don't remember, we can go here to the here, and we have here that we have to use this authorization mirror to provide token in order to do the request to a score, okay, to a model. And again, in this case is a post request, application JSON, because it's the format, the content type, okay, and the payload, that it's the fields that we are going to send to the model to ask for a prediction, and the values that I have introduced directly here. But imagine that you create a program and you ask for this information in a text box or by keyboard, like it's done here in this test, okay, that you can enter here the information, or you create a very basic HTML formulary to call here using GSP or any other whatever technology. And after that, we write the payload, and again we get all the information that is returned by the model. And okay, this is everything for this specific tutorial, or let's say tutorial. So we have the ability right now to create a model, in this case from the PMML model that is created in the modeler instead of the STR. In another video I will show how to upload a STR and work with the editor that we have right now in the Bluemix, in the IBM Watson Bluemix platform, that allows us to work with the models, and that's all. Okay, so thank you very much.